Hello, everybody, and welcome to Credit Suite's live stream today. I think I'm 1 minute early, so we're going to hang tight, but you're in for a real treat. I want to thank everyone for joining us here today. Today, we're going to talk about recession fundability. And what I'm talking about is fundability for your business. We all know what's happening right now. Uh, Fundability means more today than it ever has. It's difficult for business owners to get loans. Most of them have no idea why. We're going to teach you a little bit about that today. As a matter of fact, hang tight. We're going to teach you a lot today. If you do have any questions, you can reach out to us at 877-600-2487. That's 877-600-2487. All right, let's dive right in. So, first of all, I'm not Ty Crandall. Ty is our CEO. It's who I work for, and he's the 800-pound gorilla in the business credit world. He's the best-selling author of Business Credit Decoded and multiple other books, as a matter of fact. Um, Unfortunately, or fortunately, Ty had some family obligations today, and I was happy to step in, so I hope you enjoy. All right, again, if you have any questions, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. By the way, my name is Steve Weibel, Weibel like Bible. All right. So the world's obviously changed, right? We all know that what's happened in the last few months has been difficult for business owners, and business owners have a right. They're more concerned than ever before. Things are changing in a very drastic and fast manner, and many business owners right now are uncertain of what to do. Obviously, I think everybody that's listening to me right now is probably uncertain about what's going on, or how things are going to change, or when we're going to open back up again. Nationwide, we're all dealing with different situations in our particular state, counties, and towns. Uh, it's a time to be wondering about how to get the capital you need to grow. I have to tell you, when this is over, those that are prepared are going to come out stronger. You're going to see great companies boom after this because the right companies made a conscious decision to adjust to overcome this. And part of that is being able to get the funding you need to grow your business. And listen, many business owners are uncertain of whether it's possible to even survive and thrive, and it absolutely is. You can. I guarantee you'll be able to thrive after we come out of this. So look, conditions are changing at a breakneck speed. We talked about it. This slide's a little old. It says many states have already closed restaurants. No, all the restaurants were closed. They're starting to open them back up again. Obviously, all gatherings were limited. Businesses were basically shut down. Everyone was sheltering in place. No one was spending any money. And stores were having trouble keeping stock on the shelves. Matter of fact, a lot of stores are closing. Customers and prospects are jittery. And I said, this was typed up a few months ago, so obviously a lot has even changed since then when it first started. It's gotten significantly worse. Fortunately, though, for everyone listening, fundability does not depend on the banks. Okay, does not depend on the banks. We're going to dive into that. So the question is, what is fundability? Fundability is your business's ability to get funding. I know, sounds ridiculous, right? But it really is. It's your business's ability to get funding. Uh, you can make it harder or easier on your business. It's your decision. If you follow the right steps and set yourself up the right way, the power is going to be in your hands, whether or not you can get loans or not, whether or not you can get credit or not. And we have control over this. You really do. You have complete control over this. Unfortunately, no one's ever taught this. And by the way, even if this is a side gig, this will work for you. I don't care if you're starting today, this will work for you. Okay? So fundability matters. It's so easy to get lenders to decline applications. As a matter of fact, I've always had this theory that underwriters' job wasn't to approve you, it was to decline you. Right? They're looking for a reason not to lend money. And it's easy for them not to give you credit, for creditors to not give you credit. They're always looking for a reason. But building a fundable business will help you get approved. In other words, if you lay the groundwork right, you're going to get approved. Remember, there's nothing better than applying for funding or credit and knowing going in you're going to get approved. Uh, the business will stand on its own 2 feet. If you set it up properly, it will stand on its own 2 feet, but it can't look like a hobby that you do in your spare time. I'm going to repeat that slowly. I know I speak fast. It can't look like a hobby you do in your spare time. When you're setting up your business, you want it to look like it's been around for a long, long time and it's large. Okay? Even literally if it started off as a side gig. So the key is the business starts with no credit profile at all. So if I start ABC Manufacturing today, I have no credit profile at all. Now, in the consumer credit world, that's okay. You have what's called no beacon. Unfortunately, in the business credit world, having no profile, they'll actually report you as a high risk borrower. Okay. Therefore, since there is no profile, only what's on an application is all that's reviewed for approval. So your application has to be really strong, right? It's kind of like an employment application, right? You fill out an employment application or a resume and it's empty, you're probably not feeling real comfortable about getting that job. Same thing with a business credit application. You need to make sure what's on that application looks like your Walmart. It looks like your Amazon. It looks like your company that's been around a long, long time. Here's why. Most companies fail in their first year. I know, hard to hear, right? But most companies do. Most companies fail in their first year of business. As a matter of fact, half of all companies fail in their first 5 years and 2/3 in the first 10. So don't think lenders and creditors aren't aware of this. They're well aware of this. So they're going to look, as a result, new businesses don't seem fundable to lenders, right? They're aware of it. So you can get started just by being consistent. In other words, if you set up everything and it matches, it's just going to make you look that much more serious, that much more stable. Think about it. If I filled out a credit application and I worked for Walmart, I'm going to pick on them today, and I put down the address, corporate headquarters at their corporate headquarters, and then you pulled some information and found out that, or I put down that it was in Florida, and you knew that it wasn't in Florida, you'd be concerned. You would think that was fraud. That's what lenders think. When they look, they're looking to eliminate fraud. So you got to start just by being consistent and congruent. The industry is super important. The first step in fundability is your business's industry. Some industries are considered riskier than others. When it comes to traditional funding sources, and added risk can mean stricter underwriting guidelines or even no funding at all. So let me go back over that. When it comes to traditional funding sources, added risk can mean stricter underwriting guidelines or even no funding. So it's really important that you pick your industry properly. Now, we're not talking about lying. I'm talking about just making sure that you don't set yourself up to fail. And what I'm talking about is your SIC and NAICS codes, okay? And I'll break down what that is. So the IRS website is where you choose your SIC and NAICS codes. NAICS codes. Industries are categorized by two kinds of codes. The SIC, the Standard Industrial Classification, and the NAICS, the Northern American Industry Classification System. You get to choose your code. If you don't, they'll choose it for you. So you choose your code. Be honest when you choose it. In other words, don't be in real estate and tell them you're in the trucking business. Okay, be honest. But there's no reason to choose a riskier code. If it's less risky, one might apply. In other words, there's no reason to choose the riskiest code. So you're going to find multiple codes that may fit you. Go with the lowest risk one. There's no reason to take the high risk one. All right. So keep all your records consistent, all of them. Everything about you needs to match everywhere. CRAs, in other words, credit reporting agencies, and creditors look at everything. It's not like years ago when, in order to get information on your business, they had to order it, get it either in writing, mail. Look, they have access to everything now. And it's very quick. As a matter of fact, artificial intelligence can pull up all your info from everywhere in less than 3 seconds. So you need to make sure it's all consistent because these creditors and credit reporting agencies are looking. It's all got to match everything. You're going to get denial due to fraud. Not that you're fraudulent, but 50% of the business credit applications are fraudulent. So they had to find a way to eliminate that fraud without putting in the man hours. Can you imagine if they had to have someone look individually at every single application? So they came up with these fundability factors, and artificial intelligence can look for these fundability factors. And if they don't match, if they're inconsistent, if there's something wrong, they could just do an automatic denial, which leaves you hanging because nobody's ever actually looked at your application. So it's super important that you get this right. This is how lenders interpret inconsistencies. They're looking for your business name, your address, your phone, your fax. All of your business information must look the same everywhere. I see this every day. I speak to people every day. I pull their business credit reports, and I'll see they've changed their address, and didn't notify, let's say, the IRS or the Secretary of State or the business credit reporting agencies. So when I search, and I'm just a guy searching a couple of records, 90% of the time they don't match. 90%. Now, I'm not artificial intelligence. I can't look everywhere. I'm just looking for a few key spots. They can find all this information very quickly. So the secret is when you do something, copy and paste it. Don't retype it, because God forbid you put a space in where it wasn't supposed to be, or a comma or a period. Just copy and paste it. Once you make a decision on what this is, what your name is, your address, all that, copy and paste it everywhere. Your websites, with the Secretary of State, with the IRS, with the credit reporting agencies, just copy and paste it. All right, open up a memo pad, copy, paste it on there, and anytime you have to fill your information in, including credit applications, copy and paste. Now, let's talk about the business name. Check with your Secretary of State. They might require that a business name be unique. Not every state does, but a lot of them do. So before you pick your name, just check with your Secretary of State. As a matter of fact, I refer people to their Secretary of State first before they go to the IRS, because there's nothing more frustrating than getting your EIN number with the IRS, and then you go to register your business and you get denied. Now you've got an EIN for a business you can't register. So check with your Secretary of State. Also, you're going to need to ensure they have all the necessary information for your company. So you don't want to do this halfway. You don't want to register your name with your Secretary of State and then give them your cell phone and give them a PO box, and then go to the IRS once you've and give them your home number and your home address, and then go to the credit reporting agencies and give them a different phone number. Make sure it's all the same. Make sure everything matches. So when you start with the Secretary of State, start off with all the proper information, so that when you go to each and every entity after that, it's all going to be the same. And I see this daily. You got to make sure you're in good standing with them and your entity is active. See this a lot as well, ladies and gentlemen. Once you register with your Secretary of State, every year you have to pay what's called an annual report fee. It's basically their way of saying pay us. If you don't pay the annual fee, they will make you inactive. You need to make sure you stay active. I've talked to many business owners who didn't even know their business wasn't active, which means you're not legally running that business. So make sure you stay in good standing. You can always go to your Secretary of State. As a matter of fact, if you're not sure how to get to that site, just reach out to us at 877-600-2487, or go to creditsuite.com/get funding. One of our reps will help you get the link to your Secretary of State website. All right, so make sure you're in good standing. You must file these annual reports and pay the fee each year to stay active. Keep the name of a high-risk or restricted industry out of your business name. I'm going to use the industry I came out of. Real estate is considered high risk, right? Lots of profit, but it's high risk. You don't want to name your company Steve's Real Estate Investment Firm. That's going to be high risk. You're going to get denied automatically, all right? So just try to keep it as vanilla as possible. I used to use this example. I'd look out the window, I'd see a white oak, and I'd say, oh, White Oak Enterprises. Right? Says nothing. Keep the high-risk industry information out of the name of your company. Make sure, if there's nothing underhanded about this, and by the way, yeah, there's nothing underhanded. This is all above board, okay? So it's not that you're doing anything wrong. You just don't want to handicap yourself, okay? You don't want to put restrictions on yourself just because when you don't have to, all right? A full business name should include any recorded DBA filing you use. So if you have ABC Company trading as BDE Company, make sure when you record everything. But a DBA should only be a way station on the way to a corporate filing, okay? So you're still filing as a corporation. Let's continue with the business name. Many lenders automatically decline if a business name indicates a high-risk industry. Automatically decline, okay? So again, Steve's Real Estate Investment Firm is not a good name, all right? That's a high-risk industry. Steve's Gun and Ammunition Shop, not a good name. High-risk industry. Matter of fact, it's not even a high risk. That's restricted completely. Some restricted industries include oil trading or energy. So if you're a day trader, finance companies and pawn shops, very difficult for mortgage companies to get loans, very difficult for pawn shops to get loans. Ammunition or weapons, which I just mentioned, bail bonds, check cashing agencies, political campaigns who almost never pay their bills. That's my spin. And of course, X-rated products or entertainment. If your business name shows you're in one of these industries, says may be declined, you will be declined. Okay, they're not going to take a chance. Right? Matter of fact, one of the most common reasons for loan and credit card application denials is the lender can't easily locate a business online. They just can't find you. So they don't know if you're real or not. The business name on your application should be the exact same as what's listed online with your Secretary of State. A little spin-off here. I have a client that called last week and wanted to speak to me about why his trade lines or his credit reporting issue didn't have his trade lines. I said, well, who are they? Maybe they don't report. And he gave me all the list of people, and every one of them did report. And he was really upset. I don't understand why he's not reporting, why he's not reporting. Now, he wasn't working with us yet. This is why he'd reached out. So I said, let me do a search. And I searched his information at Experian and Dun & Bradstreet and the Secretary of State. And guess what? Didn't match. None of his addresses were the same at all three of them. So what will happen is, even though he had some credit, some basic vendor credit, they couldn't even report it because the address didn't match. So the credit reporting agencies just won't report it in case it's not yours. So you need to make sure everything is the same. I keep saying it needs to match. Wherever you're listed online, your website, your secretary, everything. Make sure the business name is exactly the same on corporation papers, licenses, utility statements, banks, everything. Remember, they have access to all. They can find all this information. And you also want to make sure the business name and all other information is identical on as many online listings as you can find. So if you're listed with Google, you're listed with Yelp, wherever you're listed, make sure everything matches. The more, the better. I think you guys are pretty clear on this, right? Everything needs to match. Now, let's talk about getting your EIN. If you're just starting your business, you can go get your free EIN for your business at irs.gov. It's really easy. I can tell you right now, you're not going to get anybody on the phone there with what's going on, but it doesn't take very much time. And you set up the entity in the same state as your business address. So I know I see a lot of people, I want to set up in Nevada or Delaware because of the tax reasons. I get it. But what happens is then you're going to need an address at that location. I know a lot of people will use registered agents, but you really need an address for your business. If you're ever thinking about getting funding ever, you want to make sure you set up your business where you're actually going to operate it. Okay? All right, let's move on. To truly separate business credit from personal credit, your business must be a separate legal entity, not a sole proprietorship, not a partner. LLC, S Corp, C Corp, there are other variations of that, but you do not want to be a sole proprietor. If you're a sole proprietor, you are the business. And creditors will see you that way, so they're going to say, give me your Social Security number. You're the business. You need to make it separate. Your business can stand on its own 2 feet, but you still have to create the proper entity so that it can. All right. This means incorporation, like we said, corporation or LLC, it obviously gives you more credibility. These entities by default eliminate your personal liability. Other entities don't. Look, if you're a sole proprietor and you take out a loan or you get credit with someone, you're personally on the hook for that. You can close your business. They're still coming after you. If you're a partner, same thing. As an LLC or a corporation, by default, they eliminate your personal liability. All right. Obviously, check with your accountant, check with your attorney, but if you want to build a business credit profile, you need to be one of these. You file this with the Secretary of State for your state and make sure the listings are all uniform. I'm going to beat this into you guys today. Everything needs to match. So the IRS is also where you're going to choose your SIC and NAICS codes. These codes spell out if you're a high risk or restricted industry. If more than one code applies and it's not high risk or restricted, then use that one. I'll repeat that. If more than one code applies and it's not high risk or restricted, use that one. So if you have 2 SIC codes or NAICS codes that work for you, but one's considered high risk and one's not, use the one that's not. That's completely legal and it's completely ethical. There's nothing underhanded about that. You're just doing what's in your company's best interest. Hope that makes sense. Okay, again, any questions, 877-600-2487. Reach out, talk to one of our guys, girls. We'll walk you through this. All right, so now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about your business address. Look, a business address must be a real brick and mortar building, a real building. It must be a deliverable physical address. This can never, never be a UPS box or a PO box or Cousin Joey's grocery store's back office. Okay, it needs to be your address, and it must be a deliverable physical address. You can't take 1000 Main Street and then create a 1000-A if the post office doesn't recognize it. Okay, you need a physical address. Okay, and I'll get into what I mean by that. Some lenders will not approve and fund unless this is met. I mean, this is a basic criteria for lenders. Lenders check the United States Postal Service and places like Google Maps to see if you're using a home address, by the way. And what you may not know is your business credit report will actually have a picture of your office on it. So if you don't want people knowing where your house is, they're going to see a picture of it. So never use your home address on your application. Now, I know 99.9% of business owners start their business in their home. I did as well. So we get it. Not saying you have to go out and spend money today, but you want to graduate from that as quickly as possible. Think about it from a lender's point of view. You're working from home. They feel like you don't have enough revenue to even get your own place, so you're a little bit higher risk to them. So just keep that in mind. But here's the good news. You can use a virtual address. Now, I'm going to be real careful about this. Virtual address is not a UPS box. It's not a PO box. That's an entirely different industry. As a matter of fact, they sued in the 70s to be recognized as an actual business address. We like Regis, Da Vinci, and Alliance. As a matter of fact, any one of those three is, I guarantee, within 50 miles of wherever you're at right now. You will find one of those three within 50 miles. They're great buildings. Usually they're glass building. Usually they have secretaries or receptionists. They have offices. Then you don't have to go there. If you want to go there, you can. They have conference rooms. They're fantastic. So a virtual address, you can go to Regis, Da Vinci, or Alliance. Okay, we know they're national. We know they're recognized as a real address. Okay, business phone. This is where everybody falls down. Everybody. When I do a credibility check, this is what I run into more than anything else. You need a toll-free phone and fax number if you're going to have a fax. 800 exchange or comparable. Now, I know it's very difficult to get an 800 number now. I think there's 855, there's 8, whatever they are. It doesn't necessarily have to be an 800. You look at our number, 877-600-2487. You just need a toll-free number, okay? Set up your fax or e-fax to go straight to email. So if you get an 800 fax number, have it go obviously right to your email. Do not give a personal cell or residential phone as a business phone number. Ever. Ever. I get it. It's attached to our hip, right? We always have our cell phone. That's the number we want to give out. You do not want to give that out. That's an automatic denial. It's an automatic flag, okay? It's going to get you flagged as unestablished. But the good news is voice over IP is okay. And I use this line all the time. Most people are familiar with Google phone, right? That's the right street. You're just going the wrong way, okay? Because Google owns that number. You must have a dedicated business phone number that's in your name because it needs to be listed on the National 401 database. You can do it via listyourself.net, okay? So you can get a virtual phone number. We actually have a couple people we recommend. Reach out to us at 877-600-2487. Do not use a Google number. Do not use your cell phone. And certainly do not use your residential phone as a business number. This is important. This is one of the first places lenders check is the National 411 database. And if you're not there, you're not in business as far as they're concerned. Remember, listyourself.net. You want to write that down. Now let's talk about your web and professional web domain and professional website. You do need a professional website. Okay, there are some creditors that will let you get away with this, but look, let's be honest. If you're in business today, you need to have a website. You can buy web hosting from a company like GoDaddy. Do not use Weebly or Wix. You want it to be your domain, not domain.wix.com. Okay, so it needs to be your domain. Mybusiness.com, stevesbusiness.com, whatever it is. It doesn't need to match the name of your company, but it needs to be your domain. Okay, so don't use one of these shared ones. Your name should be your business name if possible. It doesn't need to be, but if it's possible. Use places like TemplateMonster.com. I'm slowing down now so you guys can write this down if you need it. Upwork.com, they're fantastic, and get a site up really cheap and fast. It doesn't need to be a $20,000 website. But again, what business do you know that doesn't have a website in today's day and age? So if you don't, how do you think that makes you look to a lender? right? I get it. You own a trucking company, right? Maybe that's not something you're really interested in. Just get a one-page or two-page website about how you handle your trucking business, what you can do for your customers. Make sure you get a professional logo too. Okay, so obviously if you're going to have a website, you're going to want a professional logo. You can get that from Fiverr, Fiverr. I think it's fiverr.com. Because look, credit providers are going to research you. They're going to research your company online. They don't just take your application and go approve, disapprove. They're looking. They're checking you out. I told you, artificial intelligence can find your info in seconds. All right. It's best if they learn everything straight from your company website. So again, we're back to matching the proper address, the proper phone number. All your information should be there. Look, if you're going to take an SIC code that says you're come on, not advisor, what's the word I'm looking for? A consultant. I'm a business consultant, whatever that is. Don't have a website that shows you buy houses, right? Makes sense. They're going to figure it out in 2 seconds. All right. You want them to learn everything straight from your company website. Not having one will absolutely undercut your business's fundability. It's not going to kill it, but it's going to undercut it. And look, when we're looking for credit, we're always looking for the most amount, right? So why would we do something to hamstring ourselves? So make sure you put up a website. Email. This is the killer. See it all the time. You need a company email address for your business, guys and girls. You don't want, Ty uses this line all the time, partydude2000 at yahoo.com, AOL, Gmail. And Gmail is probably the number one. I see it all the time. Steve has a business at gmail.com. It sounds great, but it's not professional. The email must be on the same domain as your website. So use a professional email address such as your name at yoursite.com, right? Make sense, right? Or info at yoursite.com, or even purchasing, or something at yoursite.com. Look, usually comes with a website domain provider such as GoDaddy. So when you get a website, typically you can add on that email. It's very inexpensive. I've had the same one for, almost 15, 20 years. I don't even have that business anymore, but I kept that email because you never know. So go to GoDaddy or wherever you want to go and make sure you get a professional email. Do not use Yahoo, AOL, Gmail, Hotmail, anything along those lines. Before you ask, yes, there is something called G Suite for Gmail where it's a Gmail address, but it's professional, okay? Like info@mybusiness.com, you can do that. So you can reach out to Gmail about that. Licensing and business listings. This is not going to apply to everyone because not every state requires it. However, if your state does, it's important that you handle this properly. You need to contact your state, your county, your city government offices to see if there are any required licenses and permits to operate your type of business. Simple. You don't want to get fined, first of all. But then on top of that, when you get this licensing, same thing. It's all got to match. Matter of fact, what you could do is go to your Secretary of State's office and they'll tell you. Like typically the website will even tell you. Do not apply if you are unlicensed. Okay, for example, I was a realtor for years and years and years. Matter of fact, I'm still a real estate agent. I can be a business in Florida, right? If I lose my real estate license, I don't renew it, and then I apply for funding under my business name, they're going to check. They're going to know if my license is back at the state, if I'm not licensed, or God forbid you never were. So make sure if you are required to get licensing, whether it's with the county, the state, the city, get your licensing and make sure it all matches. Do not apply for funding without it. Take the time to verify that main agencies, the state, IRS, bank, National 401 Directory, all have your business listed the same way with your exact legal name. I'm back at it again, ladies and gentlemen. Consistency, right? Make sure it all matches. Also, take the time. Make sure every bill you get, your power bill, your phone bill, your landlord, whatever, has the business name listed right and comes to the business address. So I know people don't want their employees to see their business, but look, you're running a business. Everything should have that address on it. You don't want to play games with that. Again, we're back to keeping it consistent. Look, you can go to DMB's website right now. Go to dmb.com/DUNS number. Look your business up. DUNS dash number. Just look up your business. See what it says. You're going to be shocked. Okay? If you can't find it, then apply for your free DUNS number. Your DUNS plus payment experiences gets you a PAYDEX score. In other words, when you have enough payment experiences, you're going to get what's known as a PAYDEX score. All right. Once you're in their system, you can search Equifax and Experian sites for your business as well. Okay. So you want to start with your DUNS number. Go to Dun& Bradstreet, dnb.com. Actually, I think it's DNB now that I think about it. Anyhow, if you're not sure, reach out to us at 877-600-2487. I'd be happy to send you a link. One of our people will be happy to send you a link. When you apply for your DUNS number, I'm warning you now, they're going to try and sell you something. This isn't in the slide deck, but I feel like this is important because I've talked to enough people that have purchased their programs. You don't need it. By law, they're required to give it to you. It's free. Okay? They'll put some pressure on you. Hey, we need to verify who you are. It's going to be X dollars. You don't need to do any of that. Okay? Get your DUNS number. It's free. It may take you up 30 days, but that's okay. Just apply for it. Apply for it right away, as long as everything matches. By the way, if you want to check it out, just go to creditsuite.com/reports. Okay, we have a link to all of them. D&B, Experian, and Equifax, they're all there. Okay, creditsuite.com/reports. Another ID number is the business identification number. So we talked about a DUNS number. The business identification number is from Experian's BizSource. A business must be listed with the credit reporting agencies to establish business credit. Makes sense, right? So they have to know who you are so that they can report whether you pay your bills on time. So you need to make sure you're established with these CRAs. You can also actually be denied funding if you don't have a credit score or low credit score with D&B, Experian, and Equifax. Like I said in the beginning, when you have nothing reporting, they actually give you a failing grade. And I've literally seen this where nothing's reporting and you get a 34 IntelliScore, which is bad. All right. We're looking for 100. So then they're going to say in the report, recommended for very low credit limits, if at all, considered high risk, may be bankrupt in the next 12 months. So it's a big deal. You really need to get things reporting on your credit report, on all of your credit reports. Look, personal financials and personal credit history are also important. I don't want to just gloss over that. It's often very helpful to get funding, right? Now, I don't want to dive too much into personal credit, but for a business loan at a conventional bank, you need good personal, business, and bank credit. So if you're going to walk into a bank, they're going to look at all of it, okay, even your personal. Good personal credit's definitely going to open doors, and it's going to open them a lot earlier. If you want to try for an SBA loan someday, you're going to need to have good personal credit. You're also going to have really good business credit, which a lot of people don't realize. So you will definitely need to have good personal credit. So we want to make sure you take care of your personal credit. Matter of fact, it's a great way to get unsecured business funding. So even if you're just starting your business today, unsecured business, what we call our credit line mix, reports to the business credit reporting agencies, not your personal credit, right? So it only reports to the business. You don't need proof of cash flow or collateral. You don't need to fulfill a time and business requirement or anything along those lines. You literally can start your business yesterday and you can get funding. Matter of fact, you can get up to $150,000 in funding, okay? And what's great is they don't care about cash flow at all. All that matters is you have good quality personal credit with no derogatory reporting. Now, there's some other factors, but if that's something that interests you, go to creditsuite.com/get funding. Okay, it's great for startups. I'm telling you, personally went through it, love it. And what's great is they typically, if you manage it well, they will typically double your limits within 12 to 18 months. So anyway, go to creditsuite.com/get funding. Now, let's talk about monitoring, because you need to monitor your business credit, right? You have to keep up with it. It's no different than your personal credit. You can get it through us, creditsuite.com/monitoring. Pretty simple. Again, creditsuite.com/monitoring. We actually offer for less. If you go to D&B's website, you'll see what they're charging. Go to Experian, you'll see what they're charging. It's a lot of money for your credit report. Not through our monitoring service. We have a partnership, and you can get all three of them for a lot less. I mean, literally 100 times less. You want to be sure any info they have is accurate, right? So you got to check all your listings with the business credit reporting agencies. You want to make sure they're all accurate and complete. And I told you, I see it all the time. All right. So you can go to creditsuite.com/reports. Okay. Don't forget creditsuite.com/reports, creditsuite.com/monitoring if you want to monitor. All right. So look, let's move on to the business bank account. You know you need to monitor your business credit. So you must have a bank account devoted strictly to your business. I can't believe we have to say this, but if you have a business I don't care if it's a side hustle. You need to have a business bank account. If you do not have a business bank account, to every lender and creditor out there, you are not in business. You have a hobby. Okay, you're running through your personal account, which, by the way, that's a problem in and of itself. The IRS does not want you commingling funds. You do not want to take a check made out to your company and put it in your personal account. That's a major, major problem. Plus, it makes your accounting easier and reduces the risk of an audit. And that's really what we're talking about here. You want to keep your business and personal funds completely separate. The account opening day, love this. Ready? I'm going to slow down for this, ladies and gentlemen. The account opening date is the business's opening date as far as lenders are concerned. So when I hear people talk about buying shell companies, a 20-year-old, I have a 20-year-old company. When did you open your bank account? Yesterday? Guess what? To a lender, you went in business yesterday. Okay? So, and I hear it all the time. Hey, I've been in business 5 years. Great. When did you open your bank account? 6 weeks ago. You've been in business 6 weeks as far as a lender is concerned. Okay? So if you don't have a business bank account, get one yesterday. All right. Longer history is obviously going to be much better for you. Now let's talk about the business bank accounts and the financials. You must always be looking to the future, bank and other loans and other kinds of funding. In other words, even if you're starting your business, you have to think about what could your potential futures need. So you have to plan for that. And that starts right at the very beginning. Set up your business for bank loan approval success now, not when you need it, right? You want to make sure you're set up way prior to getting that funding. You want to try and keep a balance of $10,000 or more for at least 3 months in your business bank account to get what's called a low 5 bank rating. I'm not going to dive into that today, but you do have a bank rating, so they don't know exactly what you have in your account, but they have a really good idea. Okay, so it's important that you try to keep at least $10,000 or more. We realize that's not necessarily always going to work, especially with what's going on right now. But if you have that ability, keep $10,000 or more in your bank account, your business bank account. If you don't have a low 5, this way most conventional banks see you as a corporation as fundable. Okay, if you don't have a low 5, you can still get corporate credit and alternative loans. Okay, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But you will not be able to get a conventional loan. Okay, so if you don't keep at least that in your bank account, you're not going to get a conventional loan. Bank ratings basically measure how responsible the account owner is with funds. That's what it boils down to. Okay, so now let's talk about your history. You'll be more fundable by paying all your bills on time. That's it. End of story. End of story. This is going to get you a PAYDEX score of 80. That's Dun & Bradstreet scoring. Equifax credit risk score of 90 or better, and a good FICO SBSS score. It's driven in part by on-time payments and business credit history. So for Experian, historical behavior, payment history equals about 5 to 10% of the total score. There's other factors involved. But bottom line is, if you look at this whole thing, it's all about how you pay your bills. It's all about how you pay your bills. We all know with personal credit, there's a mix of type of credit, utilization rate, how new is it? Well, in the business credit world, it's basically all about how you pay your bills. If you pay your bills on time, you're going to end up with a really good business credit report. It matters more than anything else. Okay? So let me repeat that again. It matters more than anything else. Pay your bills on time. Look, fundability doesn't depend on banks, right? So we talked about in the beginning, not even during recessions. You could build your business to be more fundable. You can build it. It's just a step-by-step process. This is everything from your business name to your website, your phone number, all the things that we talked about, all needs to match. Plus, you've got to set up your business with the credit reporting agencies. It enhances your fundability. You've got to get set up with them. You can go to creditsuite.com/get funding, and we can point you in the right direction. You need to do that. If you've been in business 5 years and Dun & Bradstreet doesn't know who you are, that's a problem. Okay? Even if they know who you are and there's nothing there, that's an even bigger problem. So you need to make sure your business is fundable. All right. By the way, you still are going to want good personal credit. Right? We touched on that. You're going to want good personal credit. You need to keep excellent fundability by managing your business bank account and other finances responsibly. Right? So you need to make sure you keep your personal credit good, your business is set up so it's fundable, you want to manage your bank account. These are the basics of what you need to make sure your business is fundable, ladies and gentlemen. Again, reach out to us at 877-600-2487 or go to creditsuite.com/get funding. We'll help you get to the next level. I promise you, you're going to love talking to one of our advisors or one of our consultants. We give away a ton of free information. We help you get moving forward. Don't be afraid to reach out to us. And if you need funding right now, you can get it really quick. Believe it or not, there's not much funding out there, but we know where it's at. You can literally get access to every legitimate funding program all in one place. You pay us no fees ever for this. I want to be clear about this. If you get funding through Credit Suite, we are not going to charge you a fee. However, the lenders we work with may or will. They may or will charge you a fee. That is separate from business credit building. That's a whole separate thing, right? But for funding, Credit Suite, we don't charge you anything. We put you in touch with the proper lender. We know we work with hundreds of them. We know who's funding and who's not and what they're basing it on. And we help you get your funding. So reach out to us, creditsuite.com/get funding. We use our loan volume to get you lower rates and fees. Okay? So because of our volume, and we have thousands upon thousands of people contacting us every month looking for funding, you can leverage that to get yourself lower rates and fees. Okay? We have a business blueprint to graduate to SBA loans. That's something we can talk about as far as business credit building because that's something you want to do. Look, the SBA is the end-all, be-all when it comes to loans. They're going to look at your personal credit. They're going to look at your cash flow, your future cash flow, your P&L statement, and then they're going to look at your business credit profile. And I'm going to tell you, if there's nothing there, they have to focus on you personally. They have to dive deeper into you personally. This is where the loans fall apart. This is 90% of the time, this is when people get denied because they don't have a business credit profile that's built. And I'm not talking about a trade line. I'm talking about a real business credit profile. So you can get access to that through us. It's the business blueprint, graduate to SBA loans, reach out to us at creditsuite.com/get funding. And look, ladies and gentlemen, you're never going to look for funding again. If you set yourself up the right way and everything matches and you've built your profile, you're going to find a couple of interesting things happen. Besides us having access to all this funding to help you, you're going to find the tables will turn. Lenders will start looking for you. Look, they can buy these lists as well as, look, if you have an 800 credit score, 700 credit score, you probably get credit card offers in the mail on a regular basis. Business lenders, corporate lenders, have to find people they can loan money to because they're in the business to loan money. Well, the only way to really find them is either they have to walk in their door or they can buy a list from the credit reporting agencies. I want everybody with a Paydex score of X that's been in business X amount of time, doing X volume, and with 15 or 20 trade lines reporting. And then I'm going to mail to those companies. That's what I would do if I was a lender. So build your business credit profile. Start today. Right? If you need a loan, reach out to us. We can help you, even if it's a startup loan. I told you we can get you up to $150,000 if you have good personal credit that you can PG it. And then start building your business credit. If you want, reach out to us again, creditsuite.com/get funding, or you can email us at info@creditsuite.com. You can set up a consultation with any one of our advisors, one of our consultants, excuse me. I keep saying advisors. You'll love it. You'll get real value out of it. Again, my name is not Ty Crandall. My name is Steve Weibel. You can contact us for more information. Again, info@creditsuite.com. I think I blew through this about 15 minutes faster than normal. I apologize. If you have any questions, again, info@creditsuite.com or reach out to us at 877-600-2487. It was my absolute pleasure to be here today. I hope I didn't skip over things too quickly for you, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you learned something. Thanks. Have a great day.